When you hear parties saying no or setting preconditions, what's your reading?
I don't know if the parties are like that. I'm trying to get them, if I can, to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and there are mediation techniques that one uses to try and do that.
For example?
For example, in the case of Darfur, one of the ways is to have a very, very simple text with no detail, with some key elements of one or another aspect of a ceasefire that you think, having heard the parties at length, are relatively uncontentious. The contention lies in the detail. Mm-hmm. The devil is in the detail. Mm-hmm. The question is, can you get them to agree on some fundamental elements, components, principles? Mm-hmm. And then if you can, to work outwards then, building on that, piece by piece, the details. As we experienced then in the Darfur negotiations, sometimes a party, in this case the rebels, is saying no to a principle or detail because they're ignorant. And they won't say in the negotiating chamber that they're ignorant, but they might, if you have trust built with them, say to you privately, they don't understand these things. Mm-hmm. What is an assembly area that they're meant to be confined to? So another technique is to bring in experts that can advise the parties technically on options. And when the parties become more knowledgeable, they become more confident. And when they're more confident, they may be more flexible in the negotiations. A related technique is to allow parties to have advisors of their choice that are technically strong and competent. And that helps to alleviate their feeling of ignorance and disempowerment. A further technique, to try, it doesn't always work, and it's not likely perhaps to work in the kind of Darfur case, but if I'm mediating in Cape Town, where I live, I'm trying to depoliticize highly politicized issues and make them technical for a while. In other words, let's strip the politics of this issue, transport, health, education. Of course it's political. And then one party is fighting with another party, and the one controls the city and the other controls the provincial government. Strip the politics of this thing for a while. Let's look at this as a technical problem and bring in technical experts, and let's see what the right technical solution will be. And then we bring the politics back in, we have to. So we're not pretending politics are irrelevant. We're trying to take it out of the room for a little while. Politicians get out. Let some technical experts get on with exploring the issue. And the politicians will very often say, fine, we'll do that. If we come up with a good technical solution, the job then is to sell this to the political party separately, so that they don't have to back down in front of each other. If one can achieve that, then you bring them together and they're all celebrating because they know they've got a deal, and none of them have backed down in response to the demands of the other. What they've done is seen the wisdom of a solution proposed by a group of technical experts. So that would be another technique. I don't like plenary negotiations with all the parties and all the representatives as a technique. I've never seen that a useful form of negotiations. The parties in that kind of form will not back down for fear of losing face. They grandstand. They just accuse each other, and when you're in that mode, you can't get out of it. Shuttle diplomacy is a technique that mediators use a lot. So you're serving as an interlocutor. You don't want to bring the parties together. You have to at some point, of course, because you want to build a relationship between them. But initially, when the level of hatred and suspicion is very, very high, and they're screaming at each other, get them apart. And through the shuttle diplomacy, acting as an interlocutor, talking to one, then the other, what are you doing? You're facilitating communication. And without being dishonest or manipulative, you sanitize the communication a little bit. You have to convey the essence, but you take the tone away. So you tell me as party A what you want party B to do, you say it with a great deal of venom and insult. The venom and insult I don't take to party B. But I take to party B, what's the essence of the position?
Yeah.
When I'm doing that, I'm looking for something that the two of you can't see because you're so emotional. I'm looking for common ground. And often there's a lot of common ground. You can't see it because you're too preoccupied with your demands and your hatred and all of that. So if I can point out to the two of you separately that there's in fact quite a lot of common ground, it makes you start feeling a little more relaxed. And I'm working to the point at which I either have a complete agreement on a particular topic, or at least a partial agreement that I want to bring you together. Then you come into the room feeling a lot more hopeful and confident.